Good evening, all. Ira Epstein with your SPDR ETF stock market wrap-up, and this is for the 29th of May, Thursday, 2025. One more day to the month is over, and then into June, and I call that summertime. All right, so that should be fun for everybody. Interesting day today, and you knew that this was coming last night when, I guess after I did my updates, all this crazy action happened, where then we got to the wildness of the court orders coming in, barring at first the Trump tariffs. You knew that that would just be instantly appealed, and it was. And Trump let the appellate court know, if you don't grant us an immediate relief, which just means a stay of the order for a short while, that he was going right to the Supreme Court. And the appellate court did that. They told the plaintiffs, which are states and other entities, they have to present their case to the court June 5th and the government June 9th, and then the appellate court can make a decision. And until that's over, everything is stayed. So the tariffs are in, the government can collect its money, and you know in short order the Trump administration would apply to the Supreme Court to hear the case, and we'd see if the court would do so. The court doesn't have to. The court decides what it wants to do and when it wants to do it. They're very independent, able to do it, but they act in the good heart for the American people. So this would probably be heard if the Trump people don't win the appeal. So we'll see what happens. In the meantime, Trump can change things. He can move what he did to other sections of the law, as I understand it. I told you I'd have to get an understanding of all this. And he can come in a different way. I don't know if that benefits him or doesn't benefit him. Peter Navarro was talking about that, his advisor, this morning when he was interviewed on Bloomberg, that there are many other vehicles that they could have gone with and still can go with. They're available to them. So we'll see what happens. All right. But it was a day where you closed up. And tonight I can tell you all the stock indices at this hour that I'm recording, they're all on the lower part right now. So they're all lower on the session. Apple got hit again. Netflix finally giving up value. I want it to drop even more than that. I do want you to buy it, but not the area there for my subscribers. When I say you, I tell my subscribers where I like things and where I don't. I want Uber to fall more. I think Uber is going to fall into an area where it can become attractive. AMC's now had 2 days in a row of giving money back. Tesla continues on its gain. Gold came back today, got down to 304. It wasn't watching the futures. The futures had one wild session overnight and into the morning, and then it came back. Silver, same type of thing. Now, Microsoft just keeps moving on up to the big town, and Meta still getting its bids. So let's take a look at what we've got. You know I want Rivian in the fall, and that's why I put this up this week. And I'm going to stop right here, and I'm so glad I said this. Tell me what you want me to cover for this weekend. And I like to change some of the charts in here, so give me some ideas. Don't give me double, inverse, and all that. I won't do that. But do give me ideas, especially of well-known names that you'd like to see, because we're appealing to a large audience, not to somebody who never heard this stock and they just want to see a pattern. So remember, if you have questions and you're a paid subscriber of mine, you can always write me. What do you want to do? I'll create a video for you and shows you just what I think and why I think that in the market, or I'll write you right back with an answer and say, no, you're on the wrong path, or whatever it is. I have a busy day, as you can imagine. Lower highs, lower lows. The trend is down, okay? The market's right at the neutral spot. You're at the 18-day average, and how many times do you hear me say, markets like to go to that number to figure out what they're going to do next? That's what I think this market is doing right now. You can see it here in Bollinger Bands. You were running them. This is called running. It was never the Gorilla Glue trade, and we'll see those again, and I'll explain it in better detail for you just coming on board with us. But it was running the band. It had pushed it out of sideways action. Think of this as a pipe and a spring that winds, and eventually it's going to break out one way or the other. It won't keep going sideways. And the tighter the band, this is actually fairly wide. The narrower it gets, the stronger the ultimate move. Momentum has been the story here. And I teach in my courses that momentum, the way I teach it, momentum leads price most of the time. There's always an exception. On the same day, things can happen. But I rarely see that it's price leading the momentum. It's the other way around. And what you did right here is you lost the bullish reading. That told me, and I said it and shared it with you, that before you get up over that high, the odds are, that's all I can tell you, the odds are, I can't tell you what's going to do it. The odds favor you're going to come back to the 18-day average and fight the battle there. I got off the chart and I didn't want to do that. Right here. So, tell me where you want. I know it's called magic. Woo! All right, Lilly, still nothing. If you lose the bearish embedded reading, I can make an argument to get back to the 18-day average, wherever it is, but it's not throwing out long-term buy signals yet. Broadcom, new highs. This market just keeps cranking on up, as you can see. It's really done well. It's a huge winner off of what's going on with AI. And you can see that in just how its momentum is even locked in. Google, are we going to get an embedded reading and keep it there? All right, and the word is keep it there. Both numbers were over 80 today. Both were over 80 yesterday? No, and not the day before. You're just overbought, not embedded. So this battle right here is going to be decided very shortly. We've lifted into the green, the 100-day average, the gray right here, the 200-day average, and the Bollinger Band together. And it stopped the advance. Now the question is there more where it's ready to take off and then embed the trade? Hard to tell. Netflix, I so want to lose the embedded reading and see this market give you a reasonable break so you can come into it. I told you I think it's too high to pay near the 1200 level, and now it's at least backed off from there. Let's see what it does. Robinhood, okay, we're getting a lot of markets that have had long time embedded readings, and when they all start moving together and losing them, an event is about to happen. I'm not saying that's here. I'm saying my eyes are wide open because I'm seeing them like that. A couple of them are candidates. Exxon, right on down, just keeps coming in, but too oversold to deploy new money, in my opinion. So something to watch, but that's about it. Probably one of those markets we can drop and you give me something else and I'll put it up there. In stocks, I'll let you buy the first challenge of the 200-day average, not me, all right? Not my clients, for sure. They won't hear me tell them to do that. You lost your bullish momentum. You still haven't exactly hit these averages. Let's see if it can do it before it makes a new high. That's the key. XLF, well, when you lost the bullish momentum, you came right down, and you basically have stopped at that 18-day average. Again, one of the things that I teach. In XLI, all right, the market lost its reading. I don't call that hitting the 18-day average of closes. It didn't quite take that out. That's why I'm saying there are certain things here where if you don't hit those and the markets start making new highs, it's an event maybe to the upside. We go for the highs in the stock indices and so on. At the other hand, I'm getting a lot of signals that are saying this rally's tiring. And even individual names are starting on, and some of these spiders, ETFs that make up a group, they're starting to falter a bit in their momentum. On the energy, this is still bearish to me. Lower highs, lower lows. It's oversold. I don't like to tell people to deploy new money on a short side in an oversold market. Gold is trying its darn best to be bullish. It's holding the 18-day average. I think traders are buying it against that 18. I wouldn't be surprised if they put a tight stop at 302.73 and they're looking to see if can it advance, but it's trying to do that. Silver market trying to do the same. However, it's so overbought now. I don't think so. I was watching today on CNBC, you know, I had the round table at the end of the trading day, and I was listening to one of the analysts going, they're buying silver. And I go, okay, why are they buying silver? They think it'll catch up to the price of gold. Well, I don't know. Maybe you play the gold-silver ratio. Why play it that way? In the copper market, higher lows, higher highs, and you're right into all this resistance and you're overbought as can be. Overbought could become very bullish if it embeds. It hasn't shown that it's ready to do that yet. Both numbers are not over 80. When you look at BND, all of a sudden this came to light. Yesterday it broke down. Today it jumps over this 2-day high. Its resistance is the 100-day average. If it clears it, the Bollinger Band is the next candidate. It entered the bull camp. Is it overbought? Not yet, but it's right at the cusp of becoming so. Any reading over 70 is overbought. Then we get to the dollar, which completely failed, again, where it should at the 18-day average, breaking down. Now, it's so oversold, it's hard for me to tell a client, go short this market here. It's a little different on the futures market. And then when we come over to FXE, it's the reverse. And I don't know what happened. That's my fault, not the charts. I must have hit the wrong button and it disappeared. We'll worry about that tomorrow or over the weekend. That wasn't the fault of the software, that I can see. Remember, Guide to Technical Indicators. We have 2 volumes. See everything I just talked about? It's there and explained in detail. So it gives you great basics of different oscillators. I like slow stochastics. I was brought up using relative strength. Then I moved to MACD. I found that I want one. I don't want to run several of them. They confuse you at that point. That's the one I chose. Moving averages, which one do you want to use? I know I use one here at the 18, and you use, and what's wildly taught is the 20. What if I told you the 18, I can prove over the years it's better in most markets, not all, in most markets. What's better, though, is it's a little bit ahead of the 20. And I like that it's a little bit ahead. It's fewer days, so it's going to move a little bit quicker. And sometimes you get an edge from that. The word is sometimes. So how do you get to this point? It's simple. You read. And we made these in PDFs. You can print them out. They're full color. IraEpstein.com free offers. And take a look at the other free offers we have for you. Take advantage of them. I'm Ira. Remember to let me know what you want me to cover.